I'm hoping to inspire you. Watch.
Oh, yeah, that looks really warm and comfortable.
Hey, Jim, show us something that you've knitted. Dina's raving about your
Oh,
knitting.
God, I would have to dig. I haven't knit in years and years and years.
Ah,
Do you know, have you ever heard of a designer called Kathy Fassett?
Yes.
I did a lot of really intense color work, and
Oh
he's
my
like,
God.
his
He's
work, it was
amazing.
his stuff. It's
Jerry set
amazing.
alarm for 1 p.m.
You know,
Amazing. I'm trying to
yeah.
inspire him to go back to knitting.
Well, Jim, you got to take it easy with the music today because my heart is kind of sensitive today, you know? So,
All right. I'm not sure what I need to do about that, but I'll just trust it'll be the right thing.
Yeah,
Hey, Susan, you maybe
I
need
know
to
you,
step away from
I
the
know
screen
you
for a little.
will. I
yeah,
know you will.
exactly.
don't
Exactly.
own that.
Hey,
Hey,
Sue,
Susan, why do
you
you
have
have?
to listen to what Bill just said. You have to step away from your computer if you want tender from Jim today.
There's some tender in there.
No, it's tender, but it's blooming tender.
Yes, moving tender.
It's your God Call with Reverend Bill.
Here are two words that are just plain fun when you hear them together. Ready? Eager optimism. Just the whole flavor of having eager optimism means that there's something that we're looking forward to, and we're anticipating that it's gonna be great. So what is it that makes you feel that feeling of eager optimism? What is it that you're inviting? What is it that you're looking forward to that'll bring that much good, that much joy into your life?
You got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with the mystery in between. You got to spread joy up to the maximum and bring that gloom down to the minimum. Have faith when pandemonium's live on the walk up on the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do once everything looked so? Man, they said you better accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative. Latch on to the affirmative, the mess with the mystery in between. The mess with the mystery in between. Don't you mess with that mystery in between.
Whoa, thank you so much, Jim Wade. Wonderful. And good morning. Welcome to New Thought Philadelphia and our 5th Sunday Healing Celebration. On months that have 5 Sundays, we take the opportunity about 4 times a year to to do a celebration that's focused simply on healing. And healing is not fixing broken stuff, as we'll get into a little bit more in detail. Healing is the revealing of the truth that we are already perfect, whole, and complete. And sometimes it does not appear that way. And healing is resolving that difference, that sense of separation. We're on Zoom again. Everybody's getting pretty good at this. We've managed to do our dress rehearsal in 18 minutes yesterday, and and I think we prepped in 11 minutes this morning. So we're setting records. Everybody's really got a good idea of how the Zoom thing works. I was just reflecting on the immense amount of technology that is available to bring us together, and just have some gratitude for that. It's a nice thing to do on Thanksgiving weekend. So for the most part, we will leave our microphones muted so we don't get the Zoom cacophony as everybody's cutting out each other's audio. However, to begin with, let's go ahead and have a little Zoom cacophony. So go ahead and unmute your microphone, and I invite you to repeat after me. Good morning, New Thought Philadelphia.
Good morning, New Thought Philadelphia.
I open myself to love.
I open myself to love.
I open myself to healing.
I open myself to healing.
I open myself to new possibilities.
I open myself to new possibilities.
And I accentuate the positive.
And
I
I
accentuate the positive.
And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
I'm Reverend Bill Marcioni. Our music today is the illustrious Jim Wade. And our practitioner of the day is Breen Rourke, RSCP, who is going to take it from here. He's also our MC.
MC Breenie B, you know me. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. New Thought Philadelphia is an open, loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering state of unconditional love. Whatever path you've been on, whatever brought you here today, wherever you're going next, we've been waiting for you. Welcome home. We love you. We believe there is one power, love, intelligence, or force which creates everything, including in each of us. And that we each use that same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our life according to our beliefs, or, as we like to say, our new life begins with a new thought. Please take a moment now to silence any unneeded electronics. Don't turn off the one you're using, but if you've got, like I do, your iPad and your phone and your Chromebook and other stuff, just shut them all off so they don't buzz or beep or ring during the celebration. And we're going to now kick off everything like we do with a prayer, which I will lead us in a practical prayer this morning. So just invite you just to settle in and feel that. Are you feeling it? I'm feeling it. I'm feeling that one power, one presence, one activity of spirit, one divine energy back of everything. Everything is created from that energy, by that energy, and expresses as that energy here now in manifestation. So I know that this celebration is an expression of that infinite intelligence. The words, the music, the ideas, the fellowship, the technology that brings us together is all expressions of the one. So I know this time is blessed, and I am grateful for it, and so it is. So we do prayer because it works. So at this time, we'll open up. If anybody's got a prayer work story you want to share, you can wave in Zoom or click the hands up button or whatever. And I see Jesus got his hand up. Hey, Zeus.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Everybody. It's wonderful to be here together in harmony and unity. I would say my prayer work story is a prayer, treatment, work, result, demonstration. My son, I guess I could use his name because it's my story. My son was feeling real sick. He went to the doctor. He got a doctor's note for his job. But then when he came back, he was still feeling real sick. And the doctor said to take him to the emergency. He really didn't want to go to the emergency, which I let it be. But I did a prayer, treatment prayer, and it was okay. But then I went to sleep, and I got up at 2:30 in the morning, and I started reading the SOM book, Science of Mind. And after an hour, I got into a really deep treatment prayer for him. And I said, because if I'm gonna do some treatment, first I gotta start with myself and then with those around me for I could bring result. And so when I got into the gratitude stage, I was overflowed with gratitude, and intuition came, and I didn't know what it was, but I know that that he was okay, because it was, but I had to get to the next step of releasing the prayer, because I was into that, it was tremendous, like tears came to my eyes, just the presence, that I know something happened. And so the next day, I tested him, and I didn't say how he was. I tested him, I say, I know you are okay. And he said, yeah. Said like a miracle, but I knew it was no miracle. It was the word put it in the creative medium to bring a result. You know, like Reverend said, the healing is uncovering, neutralizing all false images of thought and bringing that perfect idea to the subjective mind to bring forth a demonstration. So yeah, I'm just thankful and to have, let me say something about Reverend Bill, you know, to have a leader that he don't go in front of us, but he stand behind us and hear us saying, we did it, you know? So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. And you know, you sound like you're in practitioner training with your subjective mind and the demonstration. How about that? Beautiful. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Who else has prayer work story? Sarah Brown.
So I'm in the process of buying a new house, and my new house is going to be a lot smaller than, well, not smaller, but narrower. So I have to get furniture that's going to be a little bit more slim factor than the bulky pieces that I have now. And so, of course, I started looking online, and everything starts to look exactly the same, and everything is $500. And if I love it, it's $550, and it just gets out of control. So for fun, I did a little experiment where I said that, like, I did a little practical prayer about how the pieces that I needed would be there and easy to find and inexpensive or less expensive than I was seeing. And so I, for fun, jumped on Craigslist, and the exact couch that I was looking at on Wayfair was available for $40. And not only that, she's willing to hold it for the next 2 weeks until we actually are in the new space, so that I can pick it up and actually move it to the new space instead of like try to find a spot to keep it here. So I thought that was, you know, definite prayer works.
Awesome. When are you moving, Sarah? Because I'm busy that day.
Good. I won't count on you.
Real quick, I'll give a prayer work story. Sitting next to Jane on the couch is Jack. We adopted Jack on Friday. We went to the SPCA. We were open. We didn't know what was going to happen. And we found Jack, who is definitely our dog. And he's a 52-pound bundle of love and cuddles. So, yeah. So whether it's a healing or a dog or a couch, whatever your prayer work is, it works. Okay, now we've got announcements.
All right.
There you go.
I got this. Okay, beautiful. This cornucopia of info can be found on our website at newthoughtphilly.org and in the weekly e-newsletter. You can sign up for it on our website. Our community is working to support food security in our region. From now until the end of the year, 10% of all contributions we receive will be donated to Philabundance. It's a great way to support two wonderful organizations with a single tax-deductible gift. We gratefully accept donations and payments via credit card or PayPal. Use the donate button on the website or mail a check to the office in Ardmore. We rejoice in the return of the light with the winter.
Sure. I just want to interject one thing real quick. I know this is kind of off the cuff. We didn't talk about this, but it just occurred to me to let people know that Philabundance, for me personally, the giving that I give now to the end of the year is going to be over and above my tithe as a special gift to New Thought Philadelphia, which is going to go to also to Philabundance. And that's kind of from my point of view as a fiduciary responsibility and the president of the board of trustees, to say that's, you know, part of what we're doing is a year-end, you know, giving campaign. We want to help Philabundance. So just wanted to throw that out there on top of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Back to the winter solstice celebration. It's going to be held on Monday, December 21st. We'll begin with a silent meditation at sunset, which is going to be 4:39 p.m. And we'll continue from 5 to 6:30 with inspirational music and sound, story, ceremony, and candle lighting, meditation, intention, and prayer. Our special music guest is world-renowned New Thought artist Daniel Nemad.
Let me just jump in because, of course, everybody needs a turn to interrupt Sarah during today. Because there's going to be heavy attendance. This is always one of our biggest events of the year, and with Daniel Nemad participating, it's very likely that we're going to run out of capacity in the Zoom room. So if you see on the screen now that register now button, that will let you register through Eventbrite, and it will save you a spot. It's going to be by registration only. So please do that sooner rather than later, because when those 100 slots are gone, they're gone. And we would love to see you and your friends there.
Okay. You can join us for a community check-in and meditation. They're twice a day, are less than 15 minutes, and everyone is welcome. You can use the same Zoom link that we use to get into service. We are active on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and join the Philly Spiritual Adventurers group on meetup.com. Prosperity Principles work. Prove it for yourself by joining the Unexpected Income Club. Club members repeat a daily practical prayer for more prosperity to flow joyously into the life of each club member, which shows up in the form of income that we are not already expecting. We then donate 10% of the unexpected income to the New Thought Philadelphia group. It runs through the end of the year. Sign up on the website. A new Power of 8 Intention Circle begins Monday, December 7th at 7 p.m. Contact Sandy for details. We are also pilot testing Intention Yoga, which blends the intention process with a simple physical practice on Sundays at 1 p.m. Contact Reverend Bill to join the pilot. Movie night returns on Friday, December 11th for a screening of City of Angels. The Self-Mastery is an advanced class in practical spirituality. It runs 10 weeks, beginning on Wednesday, January 6th. It is open to anyone who's completed the Beyond Limits course. Thank you to the production team and presenters who make our Zoom celebrations work. There's a short technical rehearsal on Saturday afternoon and a final check-in before the celebration on Sunday. To join the team, contact Carla Ann. Reverend Bill and the practitioners do practical prayer sessions by appointment. After the celebration today, Breen will be available for a Miracle in a Minute prayer at no charge. We'll leave the Zoom meeting open for people to talk amongst ourselves after the end.
Turn this on. So when we're in person, we have a gift that we give to our second visitors, and we also have a special blessing and a welcome packet for our first-time visitors. So I see one or two people who have not been at our celebration before. So if you'd be willing to go ahead and turn on your video so we can wave at you and look at you. And if not, then just know that we are welcoming you with loving appreciation. The rest of us are going to rub our hands together to generate some warmth, to get that feeling of love together. I guess Jack is new. That warmth going, and just send it out through the waves, through the Zoom. Know that you are a bright light of God's love. Thank you for shining your light and sharing your love with us today. And welcome home. As Jim sings the next song, go ahead and leave your Zoom on gallery view and just go take a look in the eyes of the other folks who are in the celebration and feel that connection, that oneness that we have, regardless of the distance that separates us.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I'm so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Wow. Wow, very nice. Very nice.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you so much. And Jennifer is going to lead us in the flames of faith today.
We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. And we light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Our reading today is brought to us by Sandy.
Morning. Our reading is from The Principles of Healing by H.B. Jeffrey. The attention of most people is turned in the wrong direction. They're entertaining the wrong kind of thoughts and feelings. For man is spiritual, his desires are spiritual, and he is not really interested in non-realities. He wants the truth, and he's always being instructed in the truth, though he passes it by without hearing it. If he would turn in the right direction to God alone, he would receive the divine instruction of the infinite wisdom. His perception, his understanding, his whole being would be filled by the Holy Spirit. That is the instruction man wants. He really wants the things of the Spirit. He desires and craves inner things. He often misinterprets that craving and therefore makes the mistake of seeking outwardly and trying to satisfy his hunger with outer things. He doesn't realize that he already is all that he wants to be, and that the things he wants are now present in all their perfection. The only trouble with man is that he does not know that God's kingdom is now within him in all its fullness. He does not know that the power and the glory of the divine is here, and that all now lives and moves and has its being in God. This is the truth, but to know it requires steadfastness. We must abide in the truth in order to know it, and we must stand firm in the face of those things which challenge the mind with anything other than the truth. If we can fully and deeply know the truth will eventually set us free. But we're not abiding in the truth if we get disturbed over something and feel badly and say, "Oh dear, why is it so?" It is not so, and we must be steadfast in knowing that it's not so. It seems so. The seeming may be very pronounced, but it is all in the seeming. Lazarus seemed to be dead. He had been buried for 4 days. That was a pretty strong seeming. But Jesus knew that Lazarus was not dead. The seemings are not true, no matter how strong they seem. When we realize the truth fully in our own consciousness, we shall be able to dislodge and dispel that fog of misconceptions which we call the human mind and free the individual. When anyone is freed through the clear, complete understanding of the truth, he is freed for all time. He will not return to that bondage in this life or the so-called life to come. It will be finished completely.
Up by the window of the 7th floor, there's a little bird stretching her wings. She's looking down at the world far below her. I can hear the little tune that she sings. She says, we all have our notions, babe. We all laugh and sigh. And when the world on the ground's gonna swallow you down, sometimes you got to pay it no mind. There is a time for shouting, there is a time to fight. But if your heart's wide open, you might start to get the notion that nothing's going right. But if you're wise, you know that sometimes, babe, it don't help to yell and cry. When the world makes you frown, let it swallow you down. Sometimes you got to pay it no mind. Just pay it no mind. Pay it no mind. Oh, don't let it take you down. Just pay it no mind. Oh, the world keeps turning without you, baby, but it's okay to yell and cry. And when the ghosts on your screen they demand to be seen, sometimes you got to pay it no mind. Up by the window of the 7th floor, my little bird's getting ready to fly. She's had enough of the world down below her. Now she's looking up at the sky. She says, we all have our notions, baby. We all laugh and sigh. And when the world down below is gonna swallow you down, sometimes you got to pay it no mind. Sometimes you got to pay it no mind. Sometimes you got to pay it no mind.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah, sometimes you got to pay it no mind. This is a fifth Sunday healing celebration. And one of the things that we do on the fifth Sunday of the month is we have a meditative process where we get to set an intention, and then we light a candle for the intentions. Now, I have candles, and you can claim one of my candles here if you'd like when we get to that part of it. But if you have a candle nearby that when the time comes you can light, then basically you're playing the home version of the game, and everybody gets to participate a little bit. So as I've said, healing is not fixing something broken. Healing is the revealing of the truth. And the truth is that everything is perfect, whole, and complete. And sometimes it does not appear that way. Sometimes the appearance is right up in our faces that there is something wrong. There is something that we don't like, something that's not going the way that we want it to be going. Yes, that is true. We are not going to say that that doesn't exist, that that's not part of our experience. What we're going to say is that's not the truth. We're going to pay it no mind. Because a bird, before it flies, has no idea that it's a bird. It just is this creature that's living in the nest. And then there's that breakthrough moment and something changes. Same thing happens when the egg hatches. Up until that point, if what was in the egg were aware of its circumstance and situation, if there were scientists in that environment, they would be calculating how quickly the environment was being soiled, how rapidly the albumin, which was the only source of nourishment, was being depleted, and they would be able to draw a very accurate graph predicting the exact moment of doom, when everything was going to run out, when everything was just going to get to the point where survival was not possible. But what happens then is a breakthrough. In the case of an egg, it is a literal breakthrough, as the yolk that is turned into that chick breaks through and suddenly is no longer an egg, but is now an eagle or a chicken or whatever it happens to be. That breakthrough moment, that's transformative. That's a birth moment. And those happen all the time. When we get ourselves fixated on the way the circumstances are unfolding for us right now, and we project that out into the future, we get into suffering, we get into anguish, we get into that despair, perhaps, that nothing's going to change. And healing is the revealing of the truth, that there is a bigger picture going on, that there's something more involved. I've noted that in the last week or two, there are a lot of folks who are going through some challenges. I mean, we're in the midst of a pandemic, and we just had basically the biggest family holiday of the year as we're dealing with COVID. And there are people who are dealing with all sorts of difficulties and challenges. A lot of folks, myself included, we and my family went through great lengths to be able to spend some time together during Thanksgiving. And it was wonderful. And then it was over. And we woke up and it's like, oh, there's a sadness that it's over. My prayer partner got together with his family, and they jumped through some magnificent hoops to guarantee that they would be able to have a socially distanced Thanksgiving. And it was brilliant. And the part that they didn't connect with was after they'd finished the feast and eaten the turkey and everybody wanted to slip off into a tryptophan coma, there was no place for them to do that because they didn't have the ability to maintain that safe social distancing in the midst of a pandemic with their family. So that unwound, and that can be sad. So in those situations, we can look at the sadness of what happens when it's over, or we can look at the energy that we're putting into creating what it is that we're looking for. A lot of times we get to healing celebrations, and the people immediately think of our health and vitality and well-being, which is the most obvious one. And there are those among us who have lost friends this week to the pandemic or to other things. And it's really easy to say, oh, well, the healing, there's no such thing as healing because they died. And their passing is sad. It's tragic, and it leaves us grieving. But that process that starts with birth, that breakthrough process that starts with birth, eventually ends in death. That's part of a natural cycle. There are times when we prefer that the timing of that cycle be different than it was. But I've also seen people who have been in anguish and suffering. And the suffering is what we can heal. The Buddhists say that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Death is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And healing is the opportunity to turn away from the suffering and to accept that somehow there's good in the circumstance of the situation. And we don't necessarily know what it is. Healing is the revealing of the truth. The truth is that you are perfect, whole, and complete right here and right now and always. You have the opportunity to make good choices. You also have the opportunity to make choices that are not going to serve you particularly well, but it's your choice. That's what makes it a choice. If it were hardwired, if it were baked in, if you had no choice but to make a perfect choice, that's not a choice. That makes us robots or automatons. That brings something, if it's impossible to do something, then it is not possible for us to be a choice. Healing is the revealing of the truth. You are perfect, whole, and complete right here and right now, and that love is available in every circumstance. One of our pithy sayings that shows up every once in a while when you reload the website is, when you feel joy, God feels joy. When you feel pain, God feels joy. And that's not because God wants us to feel joy. It's not because God wants us to feel pain. It's because we get to choose. God's going to be joyous anyway. So there is always an invitation for us to take that next step, to change our attention and our intention and our invitation to allow and to invite some more of the experience that we define as good into our lives. And that infinite creative power that creates everything is ready, willing, and able to say yes at all times. In fact, it has no choice but to say yes. The creative law does not have choice. The creative law responds. When we set an intention and we believe that what we are inviting is available to us and it's on its way to us, the law has no choice but to say yes. When we plant a viable seed in fertile soil, the soil has no choice but to allow that seed to germinate. It's not that the soil can choose. It's not even that the soil can say, well, somebody has planted a tomato seed, but I'd rather have a cucumber, and change it. It doesn't work that way. When we plant a carrot seed, we're going to get a carrot if we have correctly planted a carrot seed. Now, it's close to the last day of November. And here in the Philadelphia area, if I were to plant a carrot seed today, there would be a good long time before anything happened. Because I need to be able to work the program. And I need to do this in a way that's going to be a viable new intention or new belief. And so if I wanted to grow carrots right now, then I wouldn't just go out to the garden and pop them in the ground, because that's not going to work. However, there are ways that I can do that. I can learn about hydroponics. I can get some pots in my house and plant the carrots in a pot and have something ready to happen later. I can get grow lights because there's not enough sunlight going on. There are lots of possibilities that are open to me. Suffering is when I insist on going out into the backyard and planting carrot seeds in November and then being unhappy because it doesn't work. Healing is the revealing of the truth that we are perfect, whole, and complete right now and always, and love is available. When we're looking at darkness, when we're looking over this way and we're seeing darkness, we can get all wrapped up in the fact that it's darkness and there's shadows and it's no fun and it's no good and this is bad and everything else. We can tell whatever stories we want to about that, and we are free to do so. And we are free to realize that because there's shadow over there, that means I'm not looking at the light. And I am free to turn around and see where the light is and see what that next experience could possibly be that I want to invite in. And so what we get to do today is set an intention for that next experience that we want to have. Maybe it's more peace of mind. I've been doing a lot of prayers for people to be experiencing harmony and peace of mind. Maybe it's about physical health and vitality and returning to that place of health and balance. That's our birthright. I mean, that's what we're born to have. Maybe it's about our prosperity and our finances and the experience of abundance that we're having. Maybe it's about relationships, that feeling of connection with our significant others, with our family, even with our colleagues and our clients. Maybe it's the people down the street who had political yard signs up that we just don't agree with. Maybe that's the way that the relationships are going to even themselves out. Perhaps it's about the creativity, that inspiration, to be able to do something new, to invite something different to flow through us. Whatever it is, when we set an intention, when we're planting that seed in the viable soil, the law says yes and it grows. So Joe is going to lead us in a meditative process now, where we get to go into the meditation and come up with an intention. And I'm going to let Joe explain that because it's her turn. You need to unmute, Joe.
I did that earlier, but I guess it didn't work. Okay, so for this meditation, we're doing this to set an intention. And then following that, we'll light a candle to anchor that intention. There's no magic, there's no special power in the candle. It's just a way of focusing on that intention. And as Bill was talking about the birds and the eggs, it reminded me that I recently read that some species of birds have been found to sing to their eggs. And that they feel that that's how the baby birds learn things like how to migrate. Some of the intuitive knowledge that they had, that we wonder, how did the birds know to do that? The birds actually sing to their eggs, and that's how they learn. And that to me represents that intuitive truth that we all have within us, that we're always surprised when we come across it, and you have to make room for it. You need to release that fog of misconception that we talked about in the reading. Let that go so that you can tap in and make space for that truth to come up and fill you. So I thought we could use that as a focal point for the meditation. On the out breath, we can release that fog of misconception and those old thoughts. And on the inhale, breathe in that truth and that knowledge. So let's take a deep, get settled in your chair, get comfortable. And just start by taking a few slow, deep breaths, just to center. Breathe in and hold it and release. Once more, breathe in, hold it, and release. One more breath in, hold it at the top, and release. And as you go into a normal rhythm, or normal pattern and rhythm of breathing, think about that on the exhale, releasing those old feelings, thoughts, those misconceptions. And then breathe in the openness to that truth and that intuitive knowing that we're really all perfect, whole, and complete. And form your intention, whatever it might be. Make room for that intention. Take another deep breath and bring some movement back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes, shrug your shoulders. Come back into the present. And as Jim does the next song, we're going to light some candles on the camera and focus your intention in one of those candles or a few of those candles.
Again. Time to wake up and put your shoes on. Walk with me into this light. Finally this morning I'm feeling whole again. It was a hell of a night just to be with you at my side, just to have you near, in my side, just to walk a while in this light, just to know that life goes on. Time to wake up and put your shoes on, walk with me into this light. Another night is gone, life goes on. Another dawn is breaking. Turn and face the sun, one by one. The world outside is waking. Morning light has driven away all the shadows that hide your way. Has given away to the promise of another day, another chance that we may finally find our way. Another day, the sun has begun to melt all our fears away. Another day, time to wake up and put your shoes on, walk with me into this life.
I speak this practical prayer on behalf of myself and everyone here on this meeting, everyone watching the recording, everyone everywhere. Because everything, everywhere, everyone is one. That's all there is one. One divine creative source, one divine creative power, one divine creative substance, one divine, one. So I know that I am an expression of that one, and that everyone here is an expression of the one. Everyone everywhere is an expression of that infinite spirit, that divine energy, that creative power, that love, that life force. We are all beautiful, unique, individual expressions of the infinite, expressing here and now in this very moment. So I know that all these intentions we've set, that have been written on our souls, inspired through spirit, stepping away from the seeming into the truth that is the core of our being, whether it manifests as a deepening of spirit, growing, deepening consciousness, whether it's expressions of abundance and prosperity, whether it's love and relationships and connections with people, whether it's physical health and well-being and fitness and vitality. No matter what this expression of spirit is, love, wealth, health, harmony, spirit, peace of mind, divine order, prosperity and abundance, it's all good. It's all more good overflowing into our lives now as we set these intentions, because it's already so. It already is. And we just open our hearts to that knowingness, that isness. So I am so grateful for this truth, grateful for these expressions of spirit in our lives now, grateful for the truth ever expanding and unfolding in our lives and in our awareness of that truth. So with gratitude for this good, I speak this creative word into the law that always says yes, the law that created the heavens and the infinite universe. Is that same law active in our lives now that always says yes, and so it is.
A heavenly day. All the clouds blew away. I got no trouble today. No trouble. Not with anyone. Well, that smile on your face, I live only to see. That's enough for me. More than enough for me on this heavenly, heavenly day. Tomorrow may bring me sorrow. Well, here's a little time that we can borrow. Forget all our troubles in these moments so few. Because right now, yes, all we really have to do, tell ourselves ahead of the day, to lay here and watch the trees sway. I can't see no other way, no other way on this heavenly day. The weight of my shoulder bringing me fear. I got no clouds up above me bringing me tears. I got nothing to tell you, I've got nothing much to say. Only I'm glad to be here with you on this heavenly, 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 heavenly day. All my trouble
Well, thank you, Jim. And thank you, Breen, and thank you, Joe. And thank you, everyone, for those wonderful intentions, that opportunity to connect and deepen into that truth. So this is our opportunity to, if there's something that's come up for you during this process, this healing celebration, some new take on healing or intentionality, this is an opportunity to raise your hand and go ahead and unmute and share what that is. Dave Mattice, welcome back. And then Amy.
Thank you very much, Bill. And I said in the chat, it has been very heartwarming to be back with my friends again. But in reality, I never left all along, because you all guys have been in my heart and in my mind all along. So, but it's good to be physically back, you know? And this has been like terrific, you know, absolutely. I never knew a Zoom celebration could be this good. So thank you. And I'll be back again.
Thank you, Dave.
I'm sure. Yep.
Thank you. Amy.
So I set my intention for peace of mind, because today at 2:00 I unveil my husband's tombstone to mark the anniversary of his death. And then I saw you were having a healing service, and I think that's what I brought up from the universe today. So I thank you for giving me just what I needed.
Blessings. Thank you. Thank you. Jesus.
Well, I want to thank you, Sandy, for that reading. That reading was tremendous. I don't know if it was the words or the one that was reading it, but and thank you, Jim, for that emotion you put in your songs. You know, it's just I just thank God the way when we be an instrument, a vessel, the way God moves through each one of us in a terrific way. I'm just in awe. And what I got from and thank you, Breen and Joe, for that meditation. It was nice and short and quiet and healing. And what I got from your message, Reverend Dr. Bill, I gotta start getting used to those words, you know, but I know they there, but doesn't make a lot of difference to you, but we gotta start getting used to bring that high frequency and call you like Rev Dr. Bill and say it like the way we say those announcements. But what I got from you, the message, you know, it's not what I want to hear. I have to pay attention what you want to communicate. And I got to catch that. And what I caught is that the universe cannot be fooled. It's foolproof. The spirit cannot be mocked. Whatever you sow, that's what you reap. And you saying these principles that they there. I gotta be aligned to these principles for that I could get a result in my life, whatever it is. It cannot be like it could be my way, but in reality it's not my way. It's you saying be aligned with, you know, it can be different seasons and I'm trying to do something. I'll be aligned with it and everything come out good. So thank you for that talk.
Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, there's the classic Peanuts cartoons. When the grown-ups talk, it's wah, 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 wah. And interestingly, whenever somebody's talking and you think you already know what they're saying, it's just you've turned it into wah, 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 wah. Because if they say something new, you hear something old. So maybe we can listen to somebody say the same thing over and over again and then get something different one time or another. So thank you for that, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Carla Ann, looks like you made it to Florida.
I did. I made it to Florida. And it's beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Ah,
Nice.
And that's my friend Mark up there.
wow, nice.
So the
Congratulations.
service was absolutely gorgeous, even from Florida, not being in Philly. It was wonderful. Thank you. Thanks, Joe and Breen, for the fantastic meditation. My intention came to me like that, and it's exactly what I needed. So thanks, everybody. And it's good to see you all.
Yeah, good to have you here. It's Sarah's turn.
New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions. The gift you share helps fund our work in the world, and the way you shine your light spreads the love. We are grateful for every way you share. We don't have a basket today, but there is a donate button on the website to make a donation by credit card or PayPal. You can also mail a check to our office in Ardmore. The offering affirmation is on the screen. We'll all unmute and say it together. I live
in an abundant universe.
I am
I am
one
one
with
with
the
the source of all good.
good.
I
I
am
am the center of
Conscious
conscious
prosperity.
I
enjoy the riches of
of
life.
life.
I bless
Bless my
My
gift.
gift.
I
I
share
share
my
my
gift.
gift, gratitude,
Joy.
Gratitude and joy.
I
I
know that
know that as
As
I
I
give,
give,
I
I
I
do
do
receive.
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 so it is.
So it is.
Oh, it is.
Do it.
Man.
Pow.
It's been a real joy getting to sing for you today, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity. If you love somebody, and that means you need somebody, and if you need somebody, that's what makes you weak. But if you know you're weak, and you know you need somebody, oh, it's a fun thing. That's what makes you strong. That's what makes you strong. That's what gives you power. That's what lets the meek come sit beside the king. That's what lets us smile in our final hour. That's what moves our soul, and that's what lets us sing. And to trust somebody is to be disappointed. It's never what you want, and it happens all the time. Oh, but if you are the trusting kind, that won't even cross your mind. Oh, it's a fun thing. That's what makes you strong. That's what makes you strong. That's what gives you power. That's what let the meek come sit beside the king. That's what lets us smile in our final hour. That's what moves our souls, and that's what lets us sing. That's what moves our soul. That's what lets us sing.
Thank you, Jim. And it is such a delight to have you here with us. What a treat. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody who made this Fifth Sunday Healing Celebration, this Thanksgiving weekend coming to a close, so very special. I am so grateful and so deeply honored. Let us end in cacophony. I invite you to unmute your microphone. Take the virtual hand of the person either closest to you or farthest to you, because we get to do that because we're virtual. And repeat after me. I am the love.
I
am the love.
I am the light.
I
am the light.
I am the healing that's the revealing of the truth.
I am the
Healing that's the revealing of the truth.
And I live in gratitude.
And I
live
in gratitude.
The light shines
The light shines.
and the love flows.
And
love
love
flows.
Love flows.
And so it is.
And
So it
But
is.
it is.
So it is. Thank you
Boom, boom.
guys so very much for being here.
Round of
Yeah.
applause.
And feel free to hang around. We actually ended a couple minutes early, which is